What's up, everybody? My name is HELMETFIRE. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic with Deadrop. The question of the day is Deadrop Web3? And we're going to talk all about it, and we're going to break it down right here. So, I'm going to switch scenes here. Now, the biggest thing about Web3 that the community correlates Deadrop to is, of course, the Founders Pass NFTs that you see here. Now, a lot of people are quick to say that it's Web3, but I want to challenge this idea, and not to challenge it, but really to just get a discussion going, because in order to understand the whole Web3 title, we have to kind of dig a little bit into it. So with this video, I'm going to be doing just that. So if you like the content and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button, as it really helps the channel out. All right, so excuse me, getting right into it. So is Deadrop Web3? Well, the first thing we have to do is figure out what the heck is even Web3. Now, I'll admit Web3 is still, even for me over the last few years, a relatively new term, right? Web3 just really references this new era of the internet that we're entering with blockchain technology, AI, and so on. So when it comes to video games, you know, there's a lot of Web3 games out there, and, you know, they kind of, for the most part, look like really bad versions of mobile games. And there are some outliers out there that are a lot of fun. And even though I'm not big into Web3 gaming in the traditional sense, I do pay attention to it. And of course, with Deadrop, you know, what they're doing is really kind of revolutionary in a couple of ways. But is it really Web3 though? All right, so Web3 is, again, just a term that's been adopted to signify the change from traditional way we've had the internet for the last 20 years, coming into this new era with new technologies, with AI, cryptocurrencies, you know, blockchain tech, and just how that can really accelerate things, right? But how it pertains to gaming is also really interesting. So with Deadrop, something that Midnight Society has done that is really unique is that's not unique to Web3 games is they have this NFT collection, which we call variants, or they're also referred to as Founders Passes. So what they do is, if you get one, or you were able to get one early, or you bought one secondhand on the market, basically it gives you a Founders Pass access to play the game early. Deadrop is in a pre-alpha state, and as such, it is not open to the public currently. But if you have one of these NFTs, you can not only get access to the game, but it will come with a lot of other perks, like free tickets to the live events, like the upcoming Snapshot 7 event in Vegas, and voting rights for certain features later down the road, and so on. Another really unique feature that these Founders Passes have is these passes will transcend the game Deadrop, which is Midnight Society's first title. When Midnight Society, the studio, creates more games in the future, this Founders Pass will transcend and be useful in those games as well. There's no other scenario in the gaming industry that's utilizing this at current. So where we talk about Web3 and why I want to bring this up is because Web3 it gets tossed around a lot, but I don't know that everybody truly understands what it means. Now, shout out to My World. I had a conversation with him off screen, and I was asking him this very question, and I wanted to get his thoughts because he is very heavy into Web3 and making music with Web3 and all kinds of cool stuff. And his idea is, he says, yes, Deadrop is Web3, and it's Web3 because they have this NFT involved. And one of the questions I proposed to him was that, you know, does a game have to be on chain to be considered Web3? His immediate answers to that was no, because most games are not going to exist on a blockchain. That would introduce too many technical limitations and really wouldn't make sense overall. Instead, where Web3 really comes in for gaming is NFT integration. You look at games like Axie Infinity or Metalcore, or an upcoming game called Shrapnel. You have interesting ways that the in-game cosmetics or in-game items that are usable in the game, much like you see in many other games out in the world, are instead actually NFTs that you can own and trade in an open marketplace of sorts. Some of these marketplaces exist in-game, and some of them exist out of game. Now, where I propose the question of Deadrop being Web3 or not has to do specifically with the NFT collection here with the variants. So these NFTs do not actually exist in game. They exist outside of the game. Now, you might say, wait a minute, Helmet, hold on a second. I have my Visor Cortex, which is part of my NFT's design, displayed in the game, unique to my character, right? Yes, you do, but the Visor Cortex is only in the game because the developers manually programmed it into the game. It is not there as a result of the NFT, right? So in other words, even though you have the NFT and it's in your wallet either on Midnight Society's website or externally, the NFT does not talk to the game itself, right? The game is in a pre-alpha state and still being developed. So the developers manually had to go in and program in all 10,000 of those variant Visor Cortexes. So that's where I come in and ask the question, does that separate it from being a Web3 project? Now, a lot of people would still say it's definitely Web3, and I'm not ready to disagree with that, right? Like, I think Deadrop is encroaching on becoming a NFT, not NFT game, but a Web3 game per se. And I want to bring to your attention this image here. Now, this image here is from Midnight Society, their website, and this is actually pretty old. It's actually on the website. You can look this up. And this is a statement from Robert Bowling, studio head of Midnight Society. And I'm going to read it verbatim here. It says, how we plan to use Web3. It says, there are two core facts we want to make very clear to all of our audience, including those who embrace decentralization and those who want absolutely nothing to do with it. Midnight Society is for all of us. What that means is at no point will you be limited from playing or enjoying our game because you choose one path or the other. If you want to have a completely centralized account, play the game, unlock items tied to your account which you use, and enjoy as you normally would. That is completely fine. If you want to have a decentralized account where you are the custodian of everything you own and able to sell them outside of Midnight Society on the open market, you are free to do so. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. What if you're a user who has no understanding or interest in decentralization, or cryptocurrency for layman's terms, and you choose to have a traditional centralized account, and over the course of the next several years you unlock hundreds of items that you've enjoyed in-game, but the time comes that you want to recoup your investment and sell some of your items. Because we track all entitlements of the centralized account, we can easily transfer ownership of all your items to you, and you are free to sell them in or outside the Midnight Society ecosystem. The most important aspect of adapting to new technologies and approaches is to leave the choice in the hands of the player. So that's the quote from Robert Bowling directly, and I want to break that down a little bit and talk to you guys and kind of talk about what this means. So Midnight Society's approach to Web3 gaming is this. This is the layman's terms of it. Just like you play Call of Duty or Halo or any modern day AAA shooter, you're going to be able to log in to Midnight Society via the website or the launcher as things progress, and you're going to have your account right then and there, and you can freely play the game, grab your loot, and add it to your collection and your hideout and put them on display and play the game just like that as you see fit. However, once they integrate these technologies, it's going to allow for another layer that's built into the back end to offer you the opportunity, should you choose, to take those loot items and those cosmetics and those things, and you would have ownership of them and be able to sell them on an open market, whether that be accessible in-game or outside of game, yet to be determined. So that's where this is where I come in with my question, is Deadrop Web3? I would say if we're asking that question today, no, I don't think it is. But do I think that that's the direction they're going and what it will eventually become? Absolutely 100% yes. This is, as that statement from Robert Bowling just said, it's exactly the direction they want to go. So big picture, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's think about it. So imagine you're playing something like Call of Duty, right? and you have the in-game store for your, operator bundles and this and that. Imagine Deadrop eventually gets something like that. And then also you have the loot items you find in the game that you can extract with and add to your loadout and display in your hideout, right? Imagine that all those items, whether they're bought on the store or found in the world, ideally with the direction they're pursuing, they would have a count of all of those items, and should you choose, they could transfer ownership to you and allow you to, in real time, say, you know what, I've got this operator skin, I've got these cosmetics, these sick pair of shoes that I found in the world, along with a couple of guns, and I'm gonna go somewhere similar to OpenSea or some other exchange, or marketplace, if you will, and be able to trade those real time and do what you want with them. Ownership is the key term here, right? When people talk about NFTs, they really get kind of bent out of shape about, NFTs are a scam and this and that. But really, it's so much more than that. It's about ownership. It's about owning your digital assets. And with NFTs, which stands for non-fungible token, that's exactly what they provide, ownership. And that's the biggest deal here. So if you can ask any gamer these days, if you're playing Call of Duty or something like that, or Halo, and you buy the battle pass items and you buy the operator skins and the cosmetic packs for $25, which is another topic for another video, you don't actually own that, right? Whenever the next game, Call of Duty is a great example of this. I'm not throwing shade. We're talking facts here. Right now in Call of Duty, a lot of people were complaining because their operator skins from Warzone 1 did not carry over to Warzone 2. So you had to either repurchase items that were reskinned, or you were just out of that money. You did not own it. You did not own any of the content, right? Now, luckily for Call of Duty, with Warzone 3 coming out, they're allowing transfer of items from Warzone 2, which is really great. Finally, right? Yay. W in the chat for that, right? However, Deadrop is poised to become the first AAA game to really offer this ownership I'm talking about, right? By integrating these NFTs or taking the in-game items that you're used to buying just like in any other game, but granting you ownership because of the way it's built. It's something that nobody else is doing in the AAA space, right? I think Deadrop is really going to be one of the first games to do it, if not the first. They're already on track, and we'll see how the next year or two goes. But do I think that Deadrop is Web3 today? Technically, no. But does that matter? Absolutely not. Deadrop is a fantastic franchise. The community is second to none. The developers are on board from day one, and it's a fantastic community that I employ everybody to come check out and follow us and hang out with us in the Discord. It's a great time. And yeah, I think that with the direction Midnight Society is going, I think they're absolutely going to integrate these Web3 features to give the power to the players, give you the choice to play it any way you like, however you want, anytime you want. So that's all I have for today's video. Please let me know in the comments what you think about Web3 overall, Web3 gaming. How does it apply to Deadrop? Am I just full of it, or are you on board with some of the things I'm saying? Again, tell me in the comments. I really want to hear from you on this topic. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and of course, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content from the channel. And I'll see you in the tower. Have a good one, everybody.